Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Real, a 3 to 4 to 100-minute or so podcast of films that I review, of all nations, of all capitals, indivisible, by liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Today I'm reviewing the film Tar. It's a 2022 psychological drama film written and directed by Todd Field. It's about Lydia Tar, a fictional, world renowned conductor facing accusations of misconduct. Ooh. This is not your simple film about music or about classical music. This is deep. This gets in touch with the politics of the music, not the music industry, but like the industry of the arts, musical arts. For instance, classical music. Let me go down the head real quick. This is a crazy film. It's one of those slow burner films in a weird way. Like it's not slow, but like things don't pick up until like honestly to like the middle of the second act. Because I like what Todd Field did with this film as far as like giving us the information. I mean, flat out, he presents Lydia Tar as this badass, as this badass conductor. She knows, she's very well trained. She knows about the theory. She's like very deep, like in everything in classical music. She knows a lot. She knows a lot of people. She knows her influences. She knows how misogynistic these influences are, and honestly doesn't really care about it because it's about the music. And this is what the film touches upon. It touches upon the subject of separating the art and the artist. Much like Kanye West, for example. We all know he makes great music, but as a person, very controversial. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of companies have like cut businesses with him because of certain controversies and all that. Either way. Directed by Todd Field, written by Todd Field, produced by Todd Field, Alexandra Milchan, and Scott Lambert, starring Kate Blanchett, who is amazing in this film. Could have won an Oscar if she didn't. Rest of the cast: Nomi Merlant, Nina Haas, Sophie Cower, Julian Glover, Alan Corduner, and Mark Strong. Cinematography by Florian Hofmeister, edited by Monica Willi. Music by Hildur Gonadottir. Yeah, it's a German name, I guess. Production companies: Standard Film Company and EM Jag Productions. Distributed by Focus Features and Universal Pictures. I'm going to keep this very, very simple. Look, this film is so good that it was nominated for a couple of Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. And, I mean, the plot's very simple. It's about this badass conductor named Lydia Tar. And people love her. People respect her. I mean, she has an EGOT. You know what an EGOT is? An EGOT is a person who won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Very hard to achieve. And honestly, very hard to achieve when you're in the classical world. I don't know anybody in real life who's accomplished that, but if there's anybody in any universe, it's Lydia Tar. Now, this film is great because, and I'm going to keep it very simple, it shows how you can be in the highest peak of your career and of your life, and it all takes like one little secret or rather like just a couple of secrets where it can just damage you to the point where you just lose everything. You lose your peers, you lose your career almost, you lose your family or what you consider family. You lose it all. In fact, what Lydia Tar went through, she kind of lost her identity because she put herself on a certain pedestal, and sometimes that could like separate you from everybody else, thinking that you're better than everybody else. And that's just not the way the world works. But in the world of classical music, and you're studying in the Conservatory of Germany, which is considered the almost the highest of the conservatories that you can possibly be in, or just, you know, just being in that field of work, period, just being in that industry, it's a whole nother world. And it's crazy. The writing is great too. And I like how the actors like put the politics in there, because I don't know nothing about classical music politics. I don't know how jealous and how vain and how envious these folks are to each other, and really to themselves. And it's crazy. And I just love the fact how this woman just like, I love the fact that she loses everything, and it's well deserved too. You get to see it, and it's just scene after scene. It just slowly goes into crap, and it's funny because the character kind of knows it, but at the same time tries to still figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes Cate Blanchett's character. She's just driven no matter what. And the end of the film is great. It's a great third act. How just her life just switches just like that. And it's a good message as to how, you got to treat your people right, or else they're going to, it's not about if they're going to keep following you. It's more about like you lose their respect, you lose their support. And when you lose support, honestly, you're almost as good as nothing. But not for Lydia Tar. She still has a job at the end of the film, and it's so kind of hilarious where she ends up, But you got to give it to her. She keeps it very professional at the end of the day. What I really liked about this film is obviously the writing. The sound design is really good because throughout the whole film, you can tell that Tar has she has this thing about sound, about hearing. Well, like she'll hear something in the distance, and she's gonna immediately kind of like check it out and figure it out, and it kind of it fucks with her shit because she herself is a composer. She makes music, she writes music, and she has all these types of like challenges and disturbances that, it makes her or breaks her. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is obviously this. Well, it's not obvious, but there's two scenes really. One of the scenes is where she's jogging and she starts seeing things, right? And obviously we're looking at it as if something normal is happening, but obviously it's not exactly reality. And as time goes by, these like delusional occurrences become more, I guess you can say, graphic in its tone. I would give this film right off the bat 4 out of 4 tokes. I don't see nothing wrong with this film. It's a very enjoyable film, even if you're not into classical music. And if you are into classical music, it is but a plus. You get to hear all these types of, like, all these artists and composers and people that I've never heard of, right? And it's just good to learn things, get to learn all kinds of music and get to learn how music drives people, and sometimes it drives them in a good direction or it drives them in a bad direction. My name is Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. Check out my website, morningshotfilms.co. I post my podcasts there. I post merch. Check it out. The next film that I will be reviewing will be Manchester by the Sea. Another good film that I recently saw. I cannot wait to talk about it. Thank you.